People get hooked on one hit or one fix, and you go in a downward spiral instantaneously.
The new heroin addict is young. What's different about this epidemic and the kids that are using, sometimes they are the kids who are in honor classes. Maybe they are the kid on the sports team or bands. These are kids from good families. This is like something we've never seen before.
Kings Park and the Know is a non-for-profit organization. We really do focus on Kings Park, but we've expanded, regionally because there are many other groups like us out there fighting the fight that we're fighting. We basically want to see drug dealers and drug users out of our town. We want to keep our kids safe. We want the laws obeyed. We want to make sure that our generations coming up have a safe environment to grow up in. And right now, there's an epidemic going on, so we are reacting to what we've seen on the streets, what we're hearing from our families, and we're trying to keep it out of our schools and keep it out of our town.
We have a myriad of goals, but I would say our main goal is prevention. We want to keep the kids from going down this road of addiction. It will tear our family apart, it will wreak havoc on the family, the finances, the marriage, the other children in the family. We really are all about prevention. If we can prevent these kids from making these poor choices, and so they can live healthy lives.
From the standpoint of what In the Know is, who they are, and what they do, fantastic. On a couple of different levels. Number one, parental involvement and community involvement is very important. Just doing things in the schools is not enough. Number two, I have found still, unfortunately, unwillingness in many communities to talk about drugs and to openly talk and say, we might have a problem in our own community. There's that, it's sort of verboten, like you don't want to go there, you don't want to say, whether Kings Park, Comac, Northport, wherever it may be, no one wants to stand there and say, yeah, we have a serious problem. I know the fact that this group is doing it is a very big help in a lot of different ways.
It's a fantastic program. Grassroots efforts that occur in the community are very beneficial to community members and to law enforcement. The police department can't combat, problems involving underage drinking, alcohol abuse, the use of illicit drugs and other controlled substances on its own. So these grassroots efforts that take place out in the communities are very helpful to educate parents and children about the dangers of using these substances.
With proper education and preventing, you're going to see drug use down, you're going to see kids not in crisis, you won't see our rehabs with beds not available, the funding not there, insurance companies battling with addicted patients. There's so many ripples to it that if we can prevent and educate, we would really decrease costs. So we're looking for creative solutions, and they're out there, so we can really hit home with this without asking the burden to be on the taxpayers.
What's a little bit different about this epidemic that we're dealing with right now, the opiate heroin epidemic in suburbia, it kind of stems from big pharmaceutical. Because this big pharmaceutical companies are so powerful, they're powerful lobbyists in Washington, we have these medicines pushed at us from every way. So Long Island medicine cabinets are full of opiates. And this is how this epidemic began. The kids are taking the opiates. They're getting addicted to the opiates, and once they run out of opiates, the heroin is cheaper. And they don't have so much stigma about the heroin because they start up snorting it. We were caught off guard. No one suspected that we would have a heroin crisis in middle to upper middle class suburbia.
When I was growing up, you talked about heroin. That was like, wow, that was way out there. It was really expensive. Certainly it was illegal then, but the cost was so exorbitant that, you had to be really kind of unique, or you had to be involved with bad people and doing some seriously bad things. I think far too many parents don't understand how cheap some of these really bad, potent drugs are. The availability, the accessibility, and the potency. It's just mind-boggling. People get hooked on one hit or one fix, and you go in a downward spiral instantaneously.
The kids ask me to come down and speak to them. And what you're seeing is very slight variant.
Last week, our keynote speaker, Detective Rory Forrestal, came in and he did an entire speech on sexting and cyberbullying. And while people might say, oh, Kings Park in the Know, that's the drug organization, why are we talking about sexting? Why are we talking about cyberbullying? Actually, what we're talking about is destructive decisions. And they have a domino effect on people's lives. I mean, cyberbullying has led to more youth suicides than any other reason. It's uncalled for, it's preventable. Kids don't realize, you take an innocent picture, you send it to your boyfriend, you break up, the picture lives forever. These pictures are going off to websites in different countries. You're buying them, you're selling them. They will haunt you for the rest of your lives. So we really do focus on any kind of destructive decision, educating our parents, keeping our kids safe, and letting them know that there are consequences. If you choose to do things that are illegal, you will have consequences. They will haunt you. They'll prevent you from getting into colleges that you might want to get into. These are important topics, and our parents need to know, our children need to know.
A couple years ago, we decided to, really we wanted to try to engage the children and speak their language. And, this generation is sort of dubbed the YouTube generation. They're obsessed with taking film. So we thought, hey, let's try to see if we can get like a fake night at the Oscars and get them to make some films. We've had 2 so far, and we were so impressed with these films. They made them about heroin and opiate use, underage drinking, taking prescription meds. Like the array of films have been fantastic, and we have like the fake Oscar, we have the red carpet. Let's speak their language. Let's get them to tell us what they're feeling.
All right, let's start from the top. What are you guys doing here tonight?
Okay, well, I'm in the process of founding a youth group for Kings Park to help with drug prevention.
And we're helping support this foundation.
There are friends helping to support me.
Good job.
So we're hoping that we get lots of supporters.
Yeah, help keep drugs out of Kings Park and help kids living.
Yes.
Parents need to be more responsible. They need to be more involved. And I look back on my own youth and upbringing, and yeah, there were things my parents did that would drive me crazy, but by and large, they had my best interests at heart. And I don't want to suggest that parents aren't doing that today, but with everyone being so busy and a lot of people working, either both spouses working or one spouse working 2 or 3 jobs, or both spouses working more than one job, that presents a challenge. But we all have an obligation, individually, to be heavily involved in our kids' lives. And I'm going to give you, and I want to be clear, I'm giving you my opinion. I think today, the expectation is that schools should be doing everything. The clinic, the community center, the social center in many ways. And I don't think that's realistic, and I don't think it's appropriate. Having a good teacher in front of a classroom, you cannot replace that. Having a parent who loves their child, which can and should include tough love, you can't replace that either.
Kings Park in the Know is an organization of a handful of volunteers, and we all feel extremely passionate about it, and we hold these events, but it's hard to draw the people in. People are busy. They think, not my child. I've yet to meet someone with a 4 or 5-year-old that says, you know what, I want to go to one of these events because I think my kindergartner might one day be an addict. I mean, nobody thinks that way. So education is key. Kings Park in the Know is very lucky that we've partnered up with many different organizations, from the Suffolk County Department of Health to organizations like Horizons that runs right out of here in Smithtown. And we've partnered up with these different agencies and groups, and they come to events that we hold. If you go to our website, you'll have links to many, many of the things that you'd find out at our events. So if you'd like some more information about our organization, there's so many ways to reach out to us. Our website has wonderful resources, whether you're a person in crisis or a concerned community member that just wants to be in the know. Just go on to kpintheknow.org. Otherwise, you can find us on Facebook. Our phone numbers are up in many of our storefronts within the town. We're always looking for anyone that wants to be involved with our mission or more information regarding our mission. No question's stupid, no tip is stupid. If you're unsure, call it in. Let the police investigate. That's what they're there for. They welcome the tips. We welcome the tips. So just know our organization is a very open organization, and we're always looking for people to get involved and help us fight the fight.